Welcome to Spotlight Chronicles. Today, we're diving into some really fascinating Hollywood history.
Okay.
The marriages of Elizabeth Taylor.
Right.
You sent over some great articles.
Yeah.
And we're going to explore her 8 marriages to 7 different men.
Wow.
It's quite a story. And it really gives us a look into the life of a true Hollywood legend. I know you love getting informed, and we're going to have some fun unpacking these relationships. So I think you'll find some really interesting insights here.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah.
A lot of layers to this story. Elizabeth Taylor's life, she was constantly in the public eye.
Right.
And her marriages were no exception. So we have a really interesting mix of relationships to look at. And each one kind of reflects different parts of her life.
Yeah.
Different things she was probably looking for at the time.
Okay, so 8 marriages, 7 men.
Yeah.
That is quite a journey. So let's go through them chronologically and point out all the key details and try to understand what made these relationships tick.
Sounds good. I think going chronologically is the perfect way to do it, so we can see how her relationships changed over time.
Yeah.
And how her life circumstances played into that.
Absolutely. So first up, Conrad Hilton Jr.
Okay.
This back in 1950. Elizabeth was just 18. He was 23.
Young.
Heir to the hotel fortune.
Wow.
And they met at the Mocambo nightclub. I mean, it sounds like a classic Hollywood whirlwind romance.
It does, doesn't it? It's like young love under the spotlight.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is that this marriage, it only lasted 8 months.
Wow.
And Taylor herself said that it was a really difficult marriage right from the start.
Yeah. And in her autobiography, she didn't hold back. She said he was sullen, angry, and abusive, both physically and mentally.
Oh, wow.
And she said this started on their honeymoon.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, that just sets a very different tone.
Yeah.
You think of a honeymoon, and it should be happy. It makes you wonder about the pressure on her, even at that young age.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, she was so young. And to be in such a high-profile relationship right off the bat, there must have been a lot of pressure.
Right.
And sadly, Nicky Hilton died in 1969.
Okay, so her second marriage was in 1952 to Michael Wilding.
Okay.
He was a British actor, 20 years older than her.
Oh, wow.
They met while she was filming Ivanhoe in England. So this seems like a very different type of partner.
It does seem like a big shift, yeah. And especially after that first marriage to Hilton.
Right.
He's often described as this calming presence in her life.
Right.
And, with the age gap, you have to wonder if maybe she was looking for someone who was more of a father figure.
That's really interesting. And they had 2 sons together, Michael Jr. and Christopher.
Oh, wow.
And she actually referred to him as a wonderful father.
Oh.
So that really speaks to a much different connection and maybe a focus on family. It seems like she might have wanted that nurturing environment after her experience with her first husband.
Right. Yeah, it definitely seems like she was craving some stability.
Yeah.
And, a family life. But after 5 years, this marriage also ended in divorce.
Yeah.
It's interesting. There were different reports about how she felt about him after he passed away. Some said it was a friendly divorce, and some said she was very upset.
Wow.
Shows how complicated these relationships can be even after they're over.
It does. That's such a good point. There's the public story, and then there's reality.
Right.
There were also rumors that Michael Wilding might have been jealous of Taylor's rising stardom.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
That happens a lot in Hollywood.
It does. One person's career takes off.
Right.
And it can definitely cause tension and insecurity in the relationship.
Absolutely. So in 1957, we have Mike Todd.
Okay.
Another movie producer, 25 years older than Elizabeth. This relationship seems really interesting, especially right from the beginning.
What do you mean?
Well, Taylor actually said that he didn't ask her to marry him. He told her he was going to marry her.
Oh, wow.
So that sounds like a very strong personality.
It does.
But she also called him the first major love of her life and said that he really helped her self-esteem.
Oh, that's sweet. It's amazing how different people can impact us so strongly at different points in our lives.
Yeah. It's like he filled a void for her.
Yeah.
And they even went to the 1957 Oscars together when his film Around the World in 80 Days won Best Picture.
Oh, wow.
And she was wearing a tiara that he gave her.
Talk about making a statement.
Yeah. I mean, they were really a power couple in Hollywood.
Definitely. I mean, they really put their love on display. Like, they were a major Hollywood power couple.
Yeah.
And they had a daughter together, Liza. But sadly, their time together was cut short when Todd died in a plane crash just a little over a year later.
It's heartbreaking. And she was just devastated by his death. She said, I honestly didn't think I would survive. I can't imagine losing someone like that so suddenly.
It's incredibly traumatic to lose a partner so suddenly. And that experience, no doubt, shaped her later choices and her future relationships.
Yeah. And that brings us to Eddie Fisher in 1959. He was a singer and a close friend of Mike Todd.
Oh, okay.
Now, this is where things get really dramatic. Eddie Fisher was still married to Debbie Reynolds.
Oh, wow.
And Debbie Reynolds was not only Taylor's friend,
Oh, no.
but also her matron of honor at her wedding to Mike Todd.
I can't believe that.
It was a huge scandal.
I can imagine. It must have been all over the headlines.
It was. It caused so much controversy, and Elizabeth was labeled a homewrecker.
Oh, God.
I mean, it makes you think about grief, loyalty,
Right.
the dynamics of friendship within that close community.
It's complicated.
It is. Taylor always said that Fisher and Reynolds' marriage was already in trouble before she and Eddie got involved.
Mm-hmm.
But later, Debbie Reynolds said that she didn't think Taylor really loved Fisher,
Wow.
that he was just someone she turned to during her grief for Todd.
Mm.
It's interesting how everyone interprets things so differently.
Right. It just shows you how subjective relationships are
Exactly.
and how you know what one person sees as love or, just comfort.
Yeah.
Someone else might see it completely differently.
And then this marriage also ends in divorce when Taylor falls in love with Richard Burton on the set of Cleopatra. It's like she goes from one headline-grabbing affair to another.
Yeah. Their romance became this global phenomenon. They were both married at the time, and their affair on the set of Cleopatra in Rome was a huge scandal. The Vatican even condemned Taylor.
The Vatican. Wow. That really shows you how big this was.
Yeah, I mean, they were obsessed with this couple.
They get married in 1964 and become this legendary couple. They're known for their lavish lifestyle, their fights, their passion.
Yeah.
They were nicknamed the Battling Burtons,
I've heard that.
but there was definitely a deep connection there.
It was intense. I mean, they were larger than life, both on their own and as a couple. Their passion was undeniable, but they definitely had their conflicts,
Right.
probably fueled by their strong personalities, a little bit of alcohol, and maybe some professional rivalry, too.
Right.
They did adopt a daughter together, Maria.
Hmm.
And Boonton actually adopted Taylor's daughter, Liza, so they were definitely trying to build a family, even with all the drama.
Yeah. And their first marriage lasted almost 10 years.
Wow.
And they made 11 movies together.
Wow.
But even that wasn't enough. They divorced in 1974, but then they remarried in Botswana in 1975.
Oh, wow. It's not very often you see a couple so famous getting remarried.
I know, it's crazy. It almost feels like something out of a movie.
It does. I mean, some people even joked that Burton just missed all the jewelry he'd given her.
That's funny. But this second marriage was very short. Less than a year.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder if maybe the pressure of their fame and those big personalities were just too much.
I mean, it's hard to imagine being under that much scrutiny all the time.
Yeah. Taylor thought they might have gotten married a third time.
Really?
And in Burton's last letter to her before he died in 1984, he said he was happiest with her. And he even hinted at wanting another chance.
Oh.
It's kind of heartbreaking. Like their love was troubled, but so deep.
Yeah. I mean, it really shows that their connection went beyond all the difficulties. And I mean, we can't forget about the jewelry he gave her, those amazing pieces that really became a symbol of their passionate and very public romance.
Yeah. So after her second divorce from Burton, she married John Warner in 1976.
Okay.
He was a Republican politician from Virginia
Wow.
and a former Secretary of the Navy.
That's a big change from Hollywood.
It is.
Oh.
What do you think led her to such a different partner?
Well, they met on a blind date at a bicentennial dinner with Queen Elizabeth II.
Wow.
Talk about a first date.
I know. And Taylor really liked his horse farm in Virginia. Warner even joked that she fell in love with the farm and he just came with the horses.
That's a good one.
So it seems like maybe she was looking for something calmer from all the Hollywood craziness.
Mm-hmm.
And get this, Taylor's fame actually helped him get elected to the U.S. Senate in 1979.
Oh, wow.
So her celebrity had a big impact on his political career.
Yeah. That's incredible. It shows how her influence went way beyond just the entertainment industry.
Exactly. But Taylor found being a senator's wife pretty restrictive,
Really?
especially when it came to her personal style and what people expected her to wear.
Oh, I can imagine. I mean, think about it. She's used to that Hollywood freedom.
Right. She
Oh.
said she was told to wear tweeds,
What?
and she couldn't wear her signature purple or those stylish Halston pantsuits.
Oh, I bet that was hard for her.
It must have been. She said they loved each other, but they weren't each other's love of my life.
Wow.
And then she said that their marriage ended because he married the Senate.
That's such a good line.
It is. It's like their priorities were just too different.
Right.
They got divorced in 1982, but they stayed friends.
That's nice.
They even had this casual saying, "Hey man, till we talk again." So there was still respect and some connection there.
Yeah, it shows that relationships can change, and even after a divorce, people can still be friends.
Absolutely. And finally, we have her 8th marriage to Larry Fortensky in 1991.
Okay.
He was a construction worker, 20 years younger than her,
Oh, wow.
and they met at the Betty Ford Clinic.
Interesting.
This is another unexpected pairing.
It is. It seems so different from her other relationships.
Right. But meeting at a recovery facility, that suggests they were connecting on a deeper level.
Yeah, like they were sharing a vulnerability.
Yeah. Their wedding was at Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch,
Oh, wow.
and Michael Jackson walked her down the aisle with her eldest son.
I can't even imagine. That's quite the wedding.
It was. But for Fortensky, coming from such a different world, all the attention was really hard. He said, those cameras everywhere, Elizabeth was used to it. I never got used to it.
Yeah, I mean, fame is a lot to handle,
It is.
especially when you're not used to it. And it must be really hard to make a relationship work when you're constantly in the public eye.
Right. And Taylor said part of the reason their relationship ended was because he stopped working. You can't have love without respect.
That's interesting.
It's like maybe their roles and expectations shifted.
Right.
They divorced in 1996, but stayed friends till she died. And Taylor decided never to marry again after that.
Wow.
It seems like even though it was hard, maybe that relationship helped her realize she was content being single.
Maybe. It sounds like she was ready to prioritize other things in her life.
Yeah. So Elizabeth Taylor's 8 marriages, they really show us the ups and downs of love,
Definitely.
commitment, and life in the spotlight.
Yeah.
From those early romances to the deep, passionate connections and even friendships. Her search for a soulmate was definitely full of surprises.
Yeah, it definitely makes you think.
It does. What we look for in relationships,
Mm-hmm.
how our desires change,
Yeah.
especially when you're dealing with those extraordinary circumstances. What stands out to you most looking back at all these relationships?
That's a good question. I think for me, it's how each marriage kind of represents a different part of her life and what she was looking for at the time.
Yeah.
She was navigating young love, stability, passion,
Yeah.
a desire for something normal, and maybe even in the end, just companionship based on respect and shared experiences.
That's a really good insight. This has been a truly insightful look into Elizabeth Taylor's marriages.
I agree.
Thanks so much for exploring this with me.
Oh, my pleasure. It's been really fascinating to talk about these relationships.
See you next time on Spotlight Chronicles.